Hi everyone, we are a group of students of the IES Manuel Martín González, and now we are going to talk about the climate in Tenerife, where we live. In general, the climate on the Canary Island is very varied due to its geographical position and its relief with different heights. Below we will explain the climate of each area of altitude in Tenerife. In Tenerife, the largest of the Canary Islands, the climate is subtropical oceanic. On the coast, it's very temperature and sunny during most of the year, with little rain concentrated in the period from October to March. It isn't cold in winter, and it is not very hot in summer either, which is why it is often said that Tenerife only has two seasons, mild spring and warm spring. This is the reason why Tenerife is known internationally as the island of eternal spring. The mid-range areas are characterized by a climate that resembles that of the oceanic type, usually more temperature and humid than the rest of the areas. In the north of the island, the condensation of the air mass from the trade wind generates a continuous layer of stratocumulus that reduce insolation and evaporation.
Summit area. At the summits of the islands that register higher altitude, Tenerife, La Palma and Gran Canaria, the climatic conditions resemble those of a temperate mountain climate, with short summers and cold winters, where it can even snow occasionally. The horizontal rain is a natural phenomenon typical of cloud forest present in high altitude areas. It occurs by a process in which small drops of water vapor collide horizontally with an obstacle, such as vegetation.
On the other hand, although temperatures tend to remain around the average. In spring and summer, there are some days characterized by an anomalous heat and weak wind. This is the haze, hot air of African origin. These days are the only days when it is above 30 degrees and the heat is unpleasant. The haze is also felt on the slopes, even more often than on the plains, because the warm air is light and tends to rise, while the coast can remain mitigated by the coolness that comes from the sea. On the contrary, in the winter months, there may be some cooler days. Trade winds are a type of wind that affects regions located in trade tropics, such as the Canary Islands. It is a constant wind in summer and irregular in winter that has two layers, a cold and humid one at the bottom and warm one at the top. This means that there is greater stability and that the cold air has little effect on the archipelago.
As for the sea, in Tenerife the sea is quite cold in winter and remains quite fresh in summer. Since the island is located at a low latitude, almost in the tropics, so a cold current flows in this part of the Atlantic Ocean. Those of us who live on the island don't stop bathing even in winter because, although it is a bit cold, the sea temperature ranges between 19 degrees in the period January-April and 23 degrees from August to October, when it can be considered warm enough to swim. In conclusion, our climate is very varied. It changes depending on the area in which we are, so we find many microclimates. But in general, in Tenerife the climate is very good, sunny and perfect to come at any time of the year.